Good morning. Good morning from Strive Academy. We are live going to make some marble mazes today. We're going to wait a few minutes to let people get on and get some supplies together, and we'll talk about how simple the supplies can be today in just a few minutes. But welcome back. We appreciate you guys being here again. I've got 4 helpers today. You gonna get in? So we've got Harper. Say hi to Harper.
Hi.
We've got Bailey, who decided to stay in her pajamas today. We've got Dylan, who lost a tooth this morning, one of her last teeth. And we have a friend from next door that we've been quarantining with, Cece, who has come over to help us today. So you're gonna get to see them all make different marble mazes. Your mom's on, Cece. Say hi to your mom.
Hi. Hi, Amber.
So the goal today is to make some marble mazes, and this can be as simple or as complicated as you want. And depending on the age of your kid and the supplies that you have, you might want to change how to do it. I was on a text chain this morning with some of my high school friends, and a couple were saying, you know, I can't find any marbles. One even said she's lost all of her marbles from being home with her kids. But, you know, I said, then just improvise. Like make a little ball out of aluminum foil or out of paper, or better yet, let your kids, or out of cardboard, let your kids come up with a way to do it. I'm giving a shout out to my next door neighbor who found a marble for me. We couldn't find a marble in this house either, which is kind of crazy because we have everything else in the world. So again, depending on the age of your kids and depending on what supplies you have, you can definitely improvise, and I would encourage you to let your kids improvise. So let them find supplies that they want. We're going to keep it very simple with supplies today, but we have a lot of stuff that we could use. So in our house, we're going to make our marble mazes on paper plates. If you have older kids and that's kind of a small thing to make it on, you could do it on a big piece of cardboard or something else that's flat. Again, we're just going to keep it simple here, but you can be as creative as you want. One way to do this would be to make, oh, that light's not good, to make the maze out of straws. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see with the light, but basically what we've done is cut pieces of straws to make a maze here. And then another way that you can do it, is to cut out pieces of construction paper and make a maze like this. Again, we improvised. We couldn't find construction paper, which is kind of hard to believe in this house. But we just cut out pieces of index cards and we colored them in to make it look like construction paper. So, well, it's the same idea. Thank you, Dylan. Okay, so you could use toilet paper rolls, you could use Legos, you could use building blocks, you could use anything that you want. Again, don't go out and buy anything, just use stuff that you have. You know, if you're running low on paper plates, build it on something else. So, again, welcome to everyone who's joining us today. We're so glad that you're here. Hey, can you say hi to Joshua? Because he's watching.
Joshua.
We miss Joshua.
Mrs. Miller's watching.
Oh, say hi to Mrs. Miller.
Mrs. Miller.
Say hi to Marmal.
Hi, Marvel.
We love seeing our friends watching. It's so fun. Okay, so, you know, as we've said every day, you can either print out the worksheets from our webpage, or I'm kind of worried that we're running out of ink in this house. So we just have pieces of paper and we're just going to write them down and use the worksheets on our website as a guide. So if you want, you can just pull up the engineering design process. What's the website, Bailey?
Um,
striveacademy.org.
StriveAcademy.org. Hi, Shayna.
So www.striveacademy.org. And it's called Marble Maze Time Trials. And the first thing it's going to ask you to do is fill in the title. So go ahead and fill in the title, which is Marble Maze Time Trials.
Did you put time trials?
So Marble Maze Time Trials. Can I help you with that?
Mom, is Amber writing all the pieces?
Yes. Okay. The second thing that it's going to ask you to do is make a hypothesis. And as we said the other day, a hypothesis is just is a best guess. So thinking about your skill level and thinking about what you're going to build, we want you to answer the question, how fast do you think you can get a marble through your maze?
Like, how would you answer that
So imagine that you have built a maze like one of these. How fast do you think you could get a marble to go through the maze or through every piece of paper?
Can you write how many seconds?
Yeah, seconds or minutes, whatever your guess is. So go ahead and take a minute and come up with your hypothesis.
That was minutes. I mean 20 seconds.
Okay, so put an S for seconds. Put an S right next to it. Good job.
I put maybe 30 seconds.
Good.
Is it 19 seconds? And
if you want to make this fun today, maybe make it a competition in your house. So maybe see who can get the marble through their maze the fastest or the slowest or whatever you want your competition to be. Say hi to Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte. 0 minutes.
Okay, next, we want you to sketch out how you think you're going to build it. So it's important that you don't just start grabbing supplies and starting to build, but that you have a design in mind when you start to build so that we don't waste supplies. And also just so you have an idea of where your experiment's going. So take a minute or two and go ahead and sketch out your design. You are welcome to add color to it if that makes you happy or maybe makes it easier for you to see what you're going to put on there and where. Yeah. So go ahead and just sketch out what you think your design is going to look like once it's built. You guys have lots of friends on here today. This is fun. Also, we love to see your comments. So while you're doing this, we'd love for you to say hi, tell us where you're watching from. It's been really fun to see people from all over joining us. So again, we're building marble mazes today, and if you're just joining us, all that we've done so far is we have written down our title, which is Marble Maze Time Trials. We've come up with a hypothesis of how long we think it'll take the marble to get through the maze. And right now we are just sketching out our design for our maze. And we mentioned before, this can be as simple or complicated as you want, depending on the age of your kids and their skill level. So we have made very simple ones. I know it's kind of hard to see with the light, but out of straws. One that's a little bit tougher out of index cards that we've cut, where the marble is going to have to go through each tunnel. And if you have an older child at home, you can make it even more difficult by putting it on a piece of cardboard instead of a plate. Two of the kids here talked about maybe making their own mazes and then cutting off the ends and putting them together to make it even more difficult. So you're welcome to sketch out whatever your imagination will let you do. We'll take about 1 more minute to sketch our design. It's like too much light.
Instead of this. Instead of that.
All right, once you have a design, oh, your grandpa's watching, Cece. Say hi to your grandpa.
Hi.
Once you have a design, go ahead and start building. What we've done here is I've given each child a plate and a pair of scissors. We're sharing a couple rolls of tape because we're running kind of low on that. I put straws out on the table. I put index cards out and some markers. So very simple supplies. We would encourage you to only help your child if they need help with cutting or taping or gluing. Okay. Let them be as creative as they want though. And it's good for them to learn from their mistakes. So if they do something and it doesn't work, then that's a great opportunity to talk about how you can make it better and retest. So we're going to start building here. We're not going to make you watch us build for long. We're just going to get started. And again, if the table's not the best place, move to the floor. Do whatever you need to make this the best situation for you. What do you want me to cut, Bailey? Okay. Okay, here. This is what I did. So for the index cards, I just cut strips of index cards and I colored them, and then I just folded the ends and taped them down. So if you have someone like Bailey who wants to do something like that, you can just cut some strips for them. Do you want to color them first? Let them color and then fold and tape.
What? Okay, I'm moving to the floor. I'm going to move next to CC over there.
Okay, so we really want you to enjoy building. I hope for your sake that it takes your kids quite a while and that they get really into this, because I know we all need something to do right now to keep our kids busy. So hopefully this will keep your kids busy for a while. But I'm just going to walk you through the rest of this experiment so that when you're finished, when your kids are finished building, you know what you're going to do. Once they have finished building, then what you want them to do is make some observations about their maze. So what they're going to do is draw a final picture of what their maze looks like. So, I sketched my design before, and now I'm going to draw what it actually looks like once I have it built. And it's a great time to stop and kind of say to your kids, how did your original compare to your final? Why did you change things? What worked? What didn't work? That kind of thing. Hi, Hannah. I see you, Hannah. Bailey, Hannah says hi. Okay, once you've drawn your final maze, then you can go ahead and test it. And you can be as creative as you want depending on how you built your maze. So my advice would be that they can't touch the marble once it goes on the plate. And so they have to only move the plate or the piece of cardboard to get the marble through the tunnels or the maze. Even with this very simple maze that we made, it's difficult for me to get the marble through each of the tunnels. So
it's also hard for parents.
It's also hard for parents, and that's something Amber and I have learned at Strive. It's oftentimes harder for parents than it is for the kids. So again, hopefully it'll take them a while to build and a while to test. To make this as scientific as possible and to rule out as many variables as possible, we would love for you to do more than one test. So instead of testing it just once and recording your results, test it 3 or 4 or even 10 times. The more times that you test, the better results that you'll get. And then finally, we're going to ask you to answer some analysis questions. Hi, Copenhavers.
Hi, Copenhavers.
And your questions for today, the first one is a little bit of math. We want you to find your average time. So what you're going to do is you're going to add up all of your time trials. You're welcome to use a calculator or here you go. Here's your math practice for the day. And you're going to add up, let's say you did 4 trials. You're going to add up those 4 numbers, hit equals, and then divide them by 4. If you do 10 trials, you'll add them up and divide by 10. Then you're going to compare your average time to your hypothesis. So it's always good to go back and say, you know, how did it compare to our original guess? Was it faster? Was it slower? What do we think made it that way? What would happen if you used a different kind of ball? So imagine that you had a marble, now you use a bouncy ball, or now you use an aluminum foil ball. How do you think that would change your answers? Okay, and then of course for the extensions, we would encourage you, if you made a straw maze, to now make a cardboard maze. If you made a cardboard maze, now make a straw maze, and vice versa. Use toilet paper rolls, use Legos, use other types of balls. So anything that you can do to change the variables would be awesome. I just saw posted on our Facebook feed, what a good idea to have marble maze races between parents and kids, and the losers have to do the laundry or make dinner or clean their room. What do you guys say?
No!
No? Well, what if you win?
Yeah!
Do you guys want to show what you're making? You want to show what you have so far?
Yes. You have to come over here.
Okay, so Bailey's got one tunnel up.
Tunnel.
Okay, good. Cece's got some straws on there.
Hi.
Dylan's using a piece of cardboard to, you know, add a little bit of challenge to it because she's older. Harper, you want to show? Ooh, Harper's kind of mixing everything together. Ooh, I like it. All right, so we really hope that you guys have fun today. Again, I think our biggest goal right now is that this takes your kids a while to do. So I would encourage you, once they start building, to just kind of walk away and let them go. You'll be surprised at how creative they can be, especially if you just let them go. We would love for the comments to keep coming. Please, 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 please post pictures later, post comments. Let us know how it went. Give us some feedback. Let us know who won in your family, and we will be back tomorrow with another Strive Academy Facebook Live. Have a wonderful day. Bye.